Welcome to compensation plan training for our Pacific region area, including Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about the compensation plan, and everything we refer to and train on comes from your back office. You get there by logging in your country, parklanejury.com.au is Australia as an example. And I know you have many questions, but all the answers that we talk about and the things we share today are right there in your back office. And today I encourage you to start there, start somewhere, but don't stop until you get it. Really get it, because we really love the compensation plan, and it is the way we get to reward you for your work. It's how you make money. And I'm very excited to share with you. I'm Tom. I serve the worldwide business with Park Lane, and here is your compensation plan. This compensation plan has two sides. We look kind of at the step side, and what this does is shows at each one of our levels, it starts and shows your personal sales commission that you make at that title, and that is paid weekly to you. We'll talk about that, but that's a big benefit of Park Lane. And then below there, you'll see ways you as a leader, if you're a leader, are compensated and the ways you make money. That include overrides, bonuses paid at month end, at the commission month end, based on how your downline is laid out. So those fashion directors that are direct to you as a leader, you make one commission rate on. And leaders, other leaders that you have that have big groups, you pay another commission rate. All that detail is there, as well as bonuses and how you qualify to get to the next level. Now today for our webinar, we really only want to talk about two levels. There are first two levels, and there are fashion director, that's our entry level. We start at 30% commission, and we're extremely proud of that. And you start at 30% commission of what you sell, your net sales. You're going to understand completely what that is at the end of our webinar together. But you can go up to 32% when you have 5,000 or more in career sales. Now that could happen in 2 weeks. You could do that in 2 weeks, or it'd take you 2 years to get over 5,000 net. But when you do, you go up to 32%, and you remain there for your entire lifetime in Park Lane. And that's big news number one. As you advance up our compensation plan ladder, you never lose status. You never lose that title or that personal commission rate that you make. So if you have to take a 3-month leave because of pregnancy or anything like that as an example, you would come right back in when you're ready to be active at that same personal commission rate and leadership level. Big deal about Park Lane. Now, our branch directors are our first level of leadership, and I love them because they make more money and get more cool stuff for doing the same thing you do as a fashion director. And as a branch director, they first go up to 35% commission. If you're at 30 and you promote to go up to 35, that's in corporate terms a 17% raise. And that's awesome. And you're at 35% for life. Now, fashion directors who promote to branch directors can also earn overrides on their team. Now, that could be just a couple people or a big team. But overrides for our branch directors start at $2,000 in net sales. And this is on your group sales. Your personal sales, you get 35% on. On your group, on all your team, you can earn between 5 and 10%. Again, it starts at $2,000. And this is really more money and more cool stuff for doing almost the exact same thing you do as a fashion director. Now, what does it take to get to branch director? Well, that's right underneath here. And underneath every category is what it takes to advance to the next level. And to become a branch director with Park Lane, all you need to do is two things. Have 1,000 or more in net non-sales. That means everything counts. And have one qualified recruit, one person you share Park Lane with who qualifies in their first 5 weeks of business. When those two things happen, you are automatically promoted to branch director, and you make more money for doing the same thing you do as a fashion director, truly. Now, on page 2 of your compensation plan, there are 3 things that we'll highlight during our training. The first is the glossary and what the Park Lane terms mean. Every direct sales company has its own jargon. I hope to unveil that to you when we talk about glossary. Also, for our top leaders, they can earn an additional 5% personal commission to get to 50%. We'll talk about that. And the parental recommendation bonus, which says if you're a leader and you have a leader promote to parallel with you or even soar way past to the top, you are still compensated on her through our parent or referral bonus. And these three things we'll talk about in our training. Let's start under the glossary of what these terms mean. PV is personal sales volume, and that's retail net sales. You'll understand that word completely at the end of our training day, but that is all the purchases that you really do personally. And net sales are our 2x4 special, everything in that, half-price hostess items that she gets. You also receive net sales credit. Group volume, then, if you're a leader, is your group's retail net sales generated within all levels which you're entitled to receive overrides. Now, net sales is what drives the compensation plan. So when we talk about this comp plan and everything in it, that's all based on net sales. But there are some items that you sell, generally to the hostess mostly, the thank you gift, the hostess exclusive items that are non-commissionable. They don't count in the commissionable sales, but you do get credit on them for contests, for recognition, for many awards. And so what that says is in some instances, when specifically stated, non-commissionable sales credit are allowed for contest credit. Read every contest for specifications. And that just says that non-commissionable sales count for a lot of things, but not when we talk about the compensation plan. When we talk about the compensation plan and how you're paid and how you advance, we talk only about net sales because we love the bling. Now, where do you see net sales within your back office in your system? It's lots of places, gang. But let's look at the genesis where it starts at the very beginning. When you process an order, so any order that you process and look at, even if it's a web order that comes through your account, there is a PDF. It's an easily open file. There is a PDF that's generated, and when you look under your orders, on completed orders, they're all in there. And if you click on any one of them, the first thing that comes up is this. It's the summary page. It lists all the customers and what they ordered. It then lists the total retail sales. It's the total amount of jewelry on this order. It subtracts credits. Those are hostess credits. And then gives you the third line, your net sales. And it does one other thing. It takes out the GST, PST, VAT, whatever tax is in there, that is removed. And that net sales column, which is the amount you're paid, is exactly what you're going to be paid on this week. It includes your full retail sales, everything in the 2x4, half-price hostess, and overage on the free credit. So if the hostess, as an example, gets $400 in credit and takes $430 in jewelry, that $30 she pays for is commissionable to you. You could take that amount, multiply it by your commission, and it will come out exactly to what you'll be paid weekly on those net sales. Now, this is the very first place you see it. I'm going to show you lots of places where you see your net sales, but this is the genesis, the beginning of where you can see that to figure out how much you're going to be paid. The 2x4 is an amazing sale. What it says is buy 2 items at full price and get the next 4, up to 4 items at half price. Don't have to take all 4, but many do. The 2 least expensive items are the ones your customers pay full price on. This entire order is net commissionable. This is an exciting new program started in 2016 that makes you more money for selling our amazing jewelry and offering great value to our customers. Now, the next place you see your net sales is here. This is your dashboard. When you go to your back office, there are 6 tabs across the top. We'll talk about those in a minute. And if you click on dashboard, the furthest to the left, this is what you'll see. It shows all your sales, your progress towards the $1,000 show club, your progress towards Rich Rewards Club, and over here in the first column, it will show your personal PV sales. And it breaks it down by both net and non-commissionable. So this is where you see your net sales. And you can take that amount, multiply it by your commission rate, and you know that's how much you'll be paid this week if that's the case. And that's the second big news, is that commissions are paid weekly in Park Lane. So if you have a show and you submit an order, you're paid every week. In an environment, in a part of the world where people are paid monthly, maybe bi-monthly if you're lucky, we pay our personal commissions weekly. And overrides for our leaders are paid monthly. And we pay right away. I mean, when the last week of the month comes in, we pay right then. We love giving you back the money you earn, and we do it as often as we can. That's what's great about our compensation plan as well. Now, in your back office, when you want to look and see and find numbers or information, there are a couple different places to look at, and most of what you want to see resides in, here are those 6 tabs. Dashboard, we just looked at. Orders, where you place and see your orders. Field interface, full of learning. Settings, where you can personalize your account. Tools, where you can do other things with your account, including see your commission. Go under Tools, Commission Detail. On Wednesday morning, you can see it. You know what it'll be. And lastly, reports. A number of reports in here. Well, we're going to look at the second from the bottom. It's called Real-Time Report. And if you are a leader and have a team, this is the best, one of 2 really great places to go and look at everything happening in your business. Here in the real-time report for the current month that we're under, we see, you can see your own personal sales, the tab on top, but we have highlighted the group sales. And now you'll see all the fashion directors or team members you have underneath. And here's a column that shows their net personal sales. So looking at the real-time report, looking at the current month or past month, you can easily see the net sales if you're a leader of your team as well. Now, sales volume and qualifying shows. So as we talk about all these things that count in the compensation plan, they're all calculated on business received and processed by the franchise office you're part of on the specific weekly Tuesday commission closing dates within a calendar month. Okay? What that means is we process on a weekly basis. We process commissions weekly, so we have a cutoff every week to pay commissions. It's Tuesday at midnight. And Tuesday at midnight, everything you've processed during the week is closed, is processed. When you look at tracking, you'll see it's a lot of Tuesday or Wednesday commission dates because it's Tuesday at midnight. If you want to know how many weeks are in our sales month, we call them commission month, but that just means kind of the accounting month. There are either 4 or 5. And to know, simply count the Tuesdays. However many Tuesdays there are in a month, that will tell you whether there's 4 or 5 weeks. But remember, overrides are based on monthly sales, and that's our commission month. So just count the Tuesdays. Secondly, you'll see promotion requirements. No one manager can be more than 50% of the overall goal. And what this is in relationship to is the advancement within the compensation plan. So when you see a group sales you have to have, you as a leader may have other leaders. And no one subgroup or one group can be more than 50% of the total sales for that incentive trip promotion contest. So that's all it says in relationship to promotion. No one subgroup can be more than 50%. They can still promote. They can actually fly past you, and you're still compensated on that in our plan. That's cool. But you can't count more than 50% of that group's sales for promotion. Maintenance. This is for leaders. If you're a leader, meaning a branch director or higher, then there is something required for you to get your overrides on your entire team, no matter how small or big they are. And the maintenance requirements of Park Lane are really, really achievable. I mean, they're some of the lowest within the industry. You can achieve maintenance to receive your overrides one of 2 ways. You can have 2 qualifying shows. Qualifying show is $250 in net sales or higher. You can just have 2 qualifying shows during a month, or you could have 1 personal new qualified recruit. That's someone who comes in and in their first 5 weeks of business, and they don't have to do it, it could go over commission months. But when they have 1,000 or more in net non-sales in their first 5 weeks, they're a qualified recruit. You can do either or. And what you do is you qualify for those during the Tuesday commission dates within a month. So again, 4 or 5 Tuesdays, to be eligible to earn overrides and bonuses the following month. So I do maintenance this month in July and get my overrides on all my business in August. What's the lesson? The lesson is just to make sure every month you either have at least 2 shows or you have one new opportunity person that you've shared Park Lane with who is a qualified recruit. Now, sales volume for qualifying shows are calculated on business received and processed by the franchise office on a specified weekly Tuesday commission closing dates within a calendar month. What that sentence says is that the volume for a month, when you look at a month, remember, 2 shows or 1 recruit, is count the Tuesdays, count the Tuesday commission dates, and that's what it says. Any sales is what's counted in that commission month, not a calendar month, but in the commission month. There are actually 2 kinds of overrides you receive. The first is on that stair-step plan where based on your title level, you receive overrides just as specified there on each of these on a monthly basis. We talked about what is required for maintenance to get those overrides. You do this month to get next month. 2 shows or 1 new recruit, either or. Don't have to do both. And you've qualified to receive the overrides on page 1, the first page we looked at of the compensation plan. On the second page of the compensation plan, there is the parental and recommendation bonus. This I referred to earlier when I talked about a leader who promotes a leader to parallel and then goes beyond. That's one way you receive this bonus. The second is you can recommend someone to come into Park Lane and to be assigned an executive leader title. And because you recommended them, you could also receive a bonus based on their total group volume. That's called the recommendation bonus. And here's how it works. If you promote a leader to parallel or above, or direct hire a leader who is at or above your current title position, you qualify to receive a 2% bonus on their entire volume of business, provided you have qualified in the month prior with this following maintenance. And for a fashion director or branch director, it's $2,000 in sales for your entire organization. In area or division, it's $4,000 in sales for your entire group and organization. And our senior division sales vice presidents, our top leaders, it's $10,000 or more in your entire group organization. Very, very minimal achievement maintenance requirements to receive 2% on that entire volume of business that you recommended or referred or promoted above as the parental portion. So 2 great ways, our compensation plan, the parental referral bonus for you to make money in Park Lane. Now, you saw us talk about a show and a qualifying show as we refer to maintenance. This is what a show is. A show is an order that must total a minimum of $250 in net sales to qualify as a show. Net sales are the amount of commissionable retail sales, excluding tax, GST, VAT, shipping, transportation, and any non-commissionable purchases. Again, when you enter in a show, you see that net amount. And a show only has to be 1 order. It can be, you can put yourself in as a hostess and do 1 order it could be for you, for over $250 net, and that's all it takes to qualify as a show. And remember, in any qualifications that require a qualified show, that's what we're talking about, $250 net. And if you wanted to see where that was, go back to the Genesis. Go back to that order that was processed. Open it up. You can open up any orders that were completed and look at that third line, net sales, and see what that amount is. That tells you what the net sales is and that it's a qualified show if it's over $250. Now, let's talk about some other glossary terms. The first is recruit. A new recruit And this only counts, mind you, for the recruiter. The recruiter is the only one who this matters to. For the new recruit, whether they're qualified or not, does not matter. They get the same great benefits. They can earn the same great awards. They are never penalized for not being a qualified recruit. Again, the only person this happens to, and this matters to, is the recruiter. But for a recruit to count as a qualified recruit for their sponsors, promotion, bonus, maintenance, anything like that, or contest credit, a new recruit must purchase an opportunity kit and have a minimum of 1,000 or more in net non, everything counts, commissionable personal volume, remember that comes from them, received at the Park Lane franchise within the 4 commission dates following their start date. Now, when I read you the start date down below, it will really help you understand completely what that means. The start date, we call it the trigger. Programmers, that's what they call it, the trigger. This is when someone's clock starts and the system tracks them. The start date of a new recruit is the Tuesday commission closing date on which their very first sales are processed. First sale could be a presidential kit order. It could be a show. It could be a web cart order. It could be your announcement show, your grand opening business launch that maybe you didn't do, someone else did for you, but you get to submit. Any of those things are the trigger and count as your first order. And then from that time, you have 4 additional weeks. So you have a total of 5 weeks to have 1,000 or more in net non-sales. Many people do it in the first week, first or second week. But for a recruit to be qualified, they need to have 1,000 or more in sales in their first 5 weeks of business. And what starts that 5-week clock is their first order. When their first order comes in, the 5-week clock starts. And we're going to look in a minute at a place where you can see that and you can track that. Maintenance, again, for our leaders is at least 2 minimum shows. It's not 500 in sales. It's 2 qualifying shows. So 2 shows that are at least 250. Or 1 recruit in the Tuesday commission dates within a month to be eligible to earn overrides the following month. I reiterate this again. That maintenance is required this month to get next month. And the best thing to do is just do one or the other every month. It really is that easy to qualify for overrides. The other place that I believe gives you the greatest information and the greatest access to what's happened in your business, if you're a fashion director, your dashboard is a great place to look. But if you want to look at detail by week or even by order, you can. And if you're a leader, everything that happens in your group is here in the detailed report. Again, under the 6 tabs, the last one, reports, detailed report, this is where everything I'm about to show you resides. And here you can see this is the top of the detailed report. And it shows everything, the first 5 weeks of business, when they started, when they registered, what was the start date, when did the first order come in, what their rank is in commission, who the recruiter is, sales by every week, sales by every order. And if you go to the very bottom of that report, the very bottom, there's a recruit downline report. And if you're a leader, this shows every single person who's come in your business. And it shows by their start date. What is that start date? First order. Remember the trigger. It shows the monthly commission date. This is the month they count for. Because the month they start is the month they count for. I'll give you an example. You have a new recruit that you share that starts next week. She starts in the middle of July. But she doesn't qualify for a recruit until the 2nd week of August. Well, when she qualifies, she counts as a July recruit. And that's why overrides, remember you do this month to get next month? We know that. And that's why we do it that way. So if you have a recruit at the end of the month, they're going to have at least their 4 weeks to qualify, and they'll count as a recruit that month for you to get your override. That's why we do it. All good and all fair. This report also shows not only the 5-week sales total, but the sales by week. So you can see all 4 weeks that new fashion director had sales. I want to thank you for taking time to view our compensation plan training for our Pacific region. We appreciate you and love paying you money. Thank you.